this shit.
Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit.
Welcome back to the It's a Movie Time podcast.
Heck is that?
That's gotta be racist.
How so?
I don't know.
That sounded like a vampire wannabe.
Yeah, Dracula?
Dracula, no.
What was it?
Blade.
Blade? No. Then it's racist. Stop
Blade's
trying.
a vampire.
Stop trying to race bait me, dude.
No, Blade's a vampire.
I've heard
Didn't you
that.
see when they asked, have you never seen the old Blade?
No, I have. I know. I'm joking. I'm just
I was like, what?
playing into the whole like.
It's a bit, you an idiot.
No, I didn't call you an effing idiot. I called you an effing moron.
Oh, my bad.
But we're not going to start the podcast out with a bunch of Fs because we want your mom to keep listening.
Yeah, we do.
Welcome back to the It's Movie Time podcast, episode 13. Who would have thought? 13 episodes in.
Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Who would have thought? I am super stoked. I'm Seth. This is Lan. That's Jax. We are just three friends sometimes who like to talk about movies sometimes. Me and Jax have been at odds over the past week because, really, Jackson hates me.
That's not true. I just dislike when you say dumb things.
He likes to perpetuate hate online towards me.
That's not true. Look, Seth, our fans love when you get angry.
They do.
They love it.
And no one knows how to make me more angry than you.
Yeah, it's what I'm good at.
It's about the only thing.
That's insane.
It's not that was mean. I didn't mean it. He's also really good at Fortnite. He's a really good friend. He'll always be there for you in a pinch. But man, is he so infuriating to be friends with sometimes. All right,
But aren't those the best friends, though? Wow, that's going to make the pod sound terrible. You're going to have to cut that out.
Yes, that was why I said 1 sec.
Okay.
Wow, that's going to make the pod sound terrible. So we're talking about Thunderbolts.
Banger.
Marvel's new film. It is going to be a banger. I was watching the trailer with my dad today, and I told him, I said, I'm so excited for this movie. And he goes, really? This one? I go, Dad, you're going to love it too, because he loves like the Suicide Squad.
And that's what I keep telling everybody. It's Marvel Suicide Squad.
It is. It's like, if that's what you're looking for, this is what that movie is. And I mean, the trailers have been so good. Also, every trailer they've released has had a banger song.
Facts. Did you see, though, that they said that within the first couple minutes of the movie, there's going to be a big death?
Yeah.
Like who?
I said that, didn't I? I said that to you when we were walking into Star Wars.
I didn't hear that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said, they claim in the first 20 minutes there's a huge death.
Not Florence Pugh.
Because
No,
she
no way.
she jumps off the tower, and unless it starts,
It couldn't be her or Bucky.
Or her dad, David Harbour's character, Red Lightning or whatever.
Red Thunder,
Red Thunder.
No, Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. That's what it is.
Red Lightning. Oh, it was Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen.
The Red Lightning into the no, it's Red Thunder.
Do you want to know who is Red Lightning? Insert clip right here of that old the ball boy for Florida State University who was
Facts.
running as fast as the players down the sideline. They called him Red Lightning.
Also, the original Red Lightning, Lightning McQueen.
Facts.
Rest in peace to our GOAT.
He ain't dead yet.
I think he might be. I heard that. I actually heard he had a DUI, killed 2 little kid cars, and he's in jail now.
He's not dead though.
No, he's in one of those all men jails where like they don't play around. And let's just say he had his oil changed a couple of times.
That's insane.
And then just like Epstein, they found him hung in his
That's crazy.
How do you hang a car?
his jail cell, dude.
By his tailpipe?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he had his tail piped, if you know what I'm saying. No, Lightning McQueen never had that happen to
Lightning's
him.
an angel, dude.
Yeah, Lightning's a perfect person. Can we get back to the topic at hand? Who do we think dies? Taskmaster?
No, well, they say it's a big death, but like we don't
wasn't-
actually know Taskmaster all that well, right?
One of them wasn't at the premiere.
Who?
I can't remember. I saw it.
Was it Ghost? The one from Ant-Man and the Wasp?
But they have to
No.
introduce the team.
It might have been Taskmaster. Which one's Taskmaster? Isn't that the guy that has
Yeah, the
the black mask?
no, it's the white. No, Ghost has the white mask.
Clearly, we don't know our Marvel.
It's okay. I'm going to cut most of this out till we get to the good piece. I don't know. So there's a major death. I'm just wondering, like, I'm trying to look at it from a lens of, like, when they say major death, but it's for sure one of the people on the team.
That's what I mean. When they say major death, that's what I'm assuming it is. Like, who else would they kill that would be major?
Well, I was thinking about what if it's someone that's, like, not in the Thunderbolts.
What are, like, Pepper Potts?
That dies, and that's why the Thunderbolts have to be formed.
I don't know if that's the case, though, because in the trailer, Bucky just, like, captures them all, and they're all tied up, and he's like, hey, we need your help.
Well, and we know that Bucky basically doesn't make it through even a year of being a congressman.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie, like, starts. But I'm like, if it's in the first 20 minutes, they have to put the team together pretty quick because the Thunderbolts aren't a team yet.
Did Bucky like have a woman?
No.
And maybe that's.
I mean, he's
she
probably
dies.
had multiple women.
I'm saying maybe she dies, and that's
guy.
why he's like, all right, I'm back.
What that metal arm do, though?
Crazy.
Not
Dude, that
what
could give
want,
you
not what you
syphilis,
want
I
it to
think.
do.
That's crazy.
Okay, so
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't know who dies.
so that will be exciting.
Guess we'll find out.
No,
in a
yeah,
couple days.
Taskmaster has the white mask because Ghost is this girl.
So I guess it could be Taskmaster.
So that's Taskmaster. But I don't think they're going to introduce Taskmaster and then kill him immediately.
Well, that's the thing.
Because Taskmaster and Spidey have a lot of connection in like comics and stuff. So I don't think they would introduce that level of character just to kill them off in the first 20 minutes of Thunderbolts without really bringing them into their role.
That's
so
my thing.
My guess is it's Ghost.
Have we met Ghost yet, though?
Yeah, from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, that's who Ghost is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with that.
It could be. She might have been the one that wasn't at the premiere.
Yeah, let me show you her picture.
Unanimous decision. We all guess Ghost. My guess is still that Anthony Mackie dies as Captain America.
I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
I would boycott Marvel for the rest of my life. Yeah,
Until
it's this
Fantastic Four. comes
Yeah,
in.
it might have been her that was. I don't
Hannah
know.
John Kamen, dude. She's cute. Not that that's the only thing that matters. She also has a lot of talent.
Good recovery.
No, I'm a feminist.
Sometimes.
Whoa, brother.
Oh.
O'Reilly. No, I am a feminist, and here, let me tell you why I'm a feminist. Saw Pride and Prejudice on Saturday, yesterday. One of two men in the entire theater. Okay? Sold out theater, all women.
And Seth.
And me. Guess who cried the hardest of all of them?
Definitely you.
I bawled like a bitch. I bawled so much that when we came back from Star Wars today, Landon puts Pride and Prejudice on, there's 30 minutes left. I cried like 3 times.
Look, this was going to be my hot take. Because I said to Seth, Pride and Prejudice and Little Women, the new one, I haven't seen the old one, but the new one, both 5 stars. If you meet a guy that doesn't like those movies, run.
Same with Barbie.
Yeah, same with Barbie. You meet a guy that doesn't like those 3 movies, talks crap on them, get out. Run fast.
I haven't seen Pride and Prejudice yet, so it's going to be watched.
I think you'll really like it.
I mean, I loved Little Women. I gave Little Women 5 stars. And Barbie, I think I gave 4.5.
Because the thing about Little Women, like Pride and Prejudice and Little Women are much different, right? Obviously, but I mean, they take place in the same time period, kind of. Little Women, yeah. But they're just very different stories as far as like what they're actually going for. The thing I really found striking about Pride and Prejudice when I watched it this time is it's just all about yearning for someone and what it means to actually like be infatuated, but not being able to like properly express that, or being too timid or prideful or prejudice. You know, that was always my big joke with my buddies is I'd always be like, you know what movie I love, guys? And this was like an ongoing bit for a year. It'd be like,
yeah, because literally we went and saw Princess Mononoke with Steven, and as you were walking out, you said this, and he said something in response to it.
well, because I go, you know what movie I love? And they'd always be like, what? And I'd be like, I'll just describe it for you. And I'd be like, He was a bit too prideful. She was a little bit prejudiced. And every time they'd be like, "You're so stupid." But I did that like every 2 to 3 days for a year.
For a year is crazy.
It's hard being friends with me.
Come up with a new joke. You're a comedian.
Holy shit. Yeah, you're right.
I've heard some of your material, Seth. It's better than that.
You're right. That's my bad. I think the Cars material is incredibly funny.
Cars was crazy.
Yeah.
Comparing Lightning McQueen to Epstein, do you think he was on his list?
No. You want to know who was? Just kidding. We're not
Ciao.
Chick
Chick
Hicks.
Hicks. Definitely Chick Hicks.
Chick Hicks was there. But I was going to say about Pride and Prejudice, you're going to tell me you're walking in to that room of sisters and you're going to call Keira Knightley plain?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of my face.
She was like 17 when that movie was made.
No, she was 21.
Are you 100%
Because it came out in 2005. It came out 4 years after Pirates won.
Still.
20.
Whatever.
So she was 20. But even then, right?
But you're going to walk in and be like, oh, she's plain.
Well, the thing, Keira Knightley, because one of my... Oh, I also renewed my top 4 favorite movies.
Again? Didn't you just do it?
Just
Or
like
this is like...
the one I just barely sent you.
Oh, okay.
And one of my favorite movies of all time, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, which has Keira Knightley.
She's good in that.
She's so good in everything. Like, she is just made to be fantastic in everything she's in. The Pirates movies, that, Atonement. She's really good at those old costume pictures, right? And then Seeking a Friend for the End of the World is like one of the most meaningful movies ever to me. Whenever a girl says, let's just be friends, I'm like, I'm in, with the hope that I get to live out that experience of the world ending.
Crazy.
What would you guys do if the world ended tomorrow?
Probably just be real sad.
Like, if you got news right now, boop, 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 world's ending, 24 hours, what are you doing?
Chili's, bro.
Chili's. Watching Dune Part 2.
Gang.
As loud as I can.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm robbing the Megaplex. I'm putting Doom Part 2 on in that bitch.
On the IMAX?
On the IMAX.
I know where they keep the DVD player.
I mean, fair, honestly. Eating a bunch of popcorn. Hanging out with my beautiful girlfriend. And my family. And my dog.
I like that those come last.
No, but we're all going to see Dune Part 2 together in IMAX.
Yeah, that's facts. I am yanking my wank one last time.
I mean, in 24 hours, you could definitely do it more than once.
But I just need one last one that's like really meaningful. And I'll call my ex while I do it just to say I forgive you.
No, you won't.
No.
Still, at the end of the world, still not worth it.
Yeah, you're right. I won't do that. It would ruin the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
I would probably call an old fling and be like, hey, world's ending. What up?
Pull up.
You up?
World's ending. Never mind. I'm not going to finish that.
Come on, dude. I'll cut it out.
I'm just not going to finish that. Anyway, let's continue the story.
What is your... Okay. Yeah. Moving forward, actually, I'm trying to keep things straight in my mind. This is kind of off the rails, but I don't care. Treasure Island?
Treasure Planet?
Desert Island movie.
Treasure Planet's a banger, first of all.
Movies. 3 movies you can take to a deserted island. You can watch them for the rest of your life. What movies?
Legally Blonde 2.
That's so funny.
You know what that's on?
The Office.
Nice.
Don't you test
I'm
me.
just checking.
Star Wars Episode 3. Dune Part 2. And... I mean, it's going to be 3 of my top 4 movies. So either Avatar: The Way of Water or A Knight's Tale.
Okay. Lan?
Bro, I'm taking Moana. I'm taking...
Is Moana in your top 4? Because if not, you need to update that.
All right, and we're back after some technical difficulties. Okay, so Jax, your 3 island movies were... Hit me with them again. Dune 2,
Star Wars
Knight's
Episode
Tale,
3.
and Star Wars Episode 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Landon?
Yeah, I would probably take Moana. And then Dune Part 2 also.
Okay.
And then maybe Pirates 3.
Okay. I like those 3 picks. I would take...
You're just going to take, what, Pride and Prejudice?
No, I would take Browser's House Episode 6.
Crazy.
I would
Crazy.
The Edge of Seven Cream.
No.
Cream.
Well, that's
was
the one
the
that
other
you're
one?
going to make, so...
What was the other one? No, you said it. Something. No, I wouldn't take those. I would honestly, because I don't think of them as like taking my top 4 favorites. I would take the ones that I'd be like, what remind me of like humanity, right?
Dune Part 2.
So yeah, Dune Part 2. No, I'd probably take When Harry Met Sally.
Banger. That was in your top 4 for a long time.
Yeah,
wasn't
it still is. It still is. But that's one that for me, I'm like, I would like to be reminded of like, if you're out there for 3-4 years, all you have is yourself. I feel like it'd be nice to be reminded that like love is out there. And if you find like a volleyball, you can just put some nice lipstick on it. And maybe you kiss.
I'll make love to you.
Like you want me to. This one is in my top 4. Austin Powers, the first Austin Powers.
Seth Austin.
Powers Oris.
I
Mainly,
hit the out of my mic.
that's okay. It just makes me laugh, and I think it's one of those movies that every single time I've never watched that movie without laughing. And then the third one I would take would probably be, I would want to take one that like reminds me of home a little bit. So I'd probably take Son-in-Law starring Pauly Shore.
Really?
Have you guys seen or heard of that movie?
No,
You know
I've
who
heard of
Pauly
it.
Shore though is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it basically the daughter of this family who's super in the country, super Western. She goes to school at USC or just in California, and Pauly Shore's there, and they become like best friends. And she takes Pauly Shore home with her for a weekend or for the Thanksgiving holiday. And it's just him like becoming acquainted. And it's something that we watched a ton when I was a kid. So I think I'd take that just to remind me of like my family and back home. So those are my 3. Son-in-Law is crazy. That's a super,
Yeah. Do you want to know what it has on Rotten Tomatoes?
probably a 1.5.
33%, 5.9 on IMDb.
Yeah. It's not great, but it's one of those, right, where you just like grew up with it and you love
it's
it.
like us with Surf Ninjas or Three Ninjas.
And but it's still like one of those where if someone doesn't like that movie, you kind of don't trust them.
yeah, because a bunch of hoes.
I got hoes.
I need to stop hitting my mic.
Fair.
It's okay. You did make that promise at the beginning of the podcast.
Well,
It's
it's 'cause
because
you-
your arms are getting so like jacked.
Dude, it's because you told me to get up, and now I'm not in the same situation I was in before. Anyway, continue.
Speaking about situations,
You got a new situationship?
that's a desert island situation that we just talked about.
It is. Speaking about situations, Seth rekindled an old flame with some good moves based off of movies.
I mean, look, dude, sometimes you got to hit them with the old, like, I'm looking for someone who's a little bit too, prejudiced to mind a little too prideful.
Yeah.
And then
And she said, well, you could have had me.
she said, you could have had me because I was an asshole. Straight up, I was just an asshole, kind of ghosted on Hinge. And, but I rekindled it because at the end of the day, humans make mistakes. Shout out her for
Everybody
realizing.
makes mistakes.
Yeah, shout out Hannah Montana.
Everybody has those days.
Hannah Montana, great TV show. Great movie. When you're baked out of your mind or high or whatever.
Are you talking about the one where she does the
Where she goes country
It's the
on 'em?
climb.
hoedown showdown?
Yeah.
My sister made me learn that dance when we were younger.
King and queen for making you do that. I saw that movie in a dollar theater
In Kaysville?
in West Valley.
Oh.
West Valley, before they had the Megaplex, they had a dollar theater Cinemark in there.
Okay.
And my dad used to take us on Saturdays and we'd go see a movie. It was a fucking dollar theater, but we'd sneak into like 3 movies in a day. And my dad used to take me and he'd like do it with just like typically just me and him or him and my sister. That was like one of his things.
Yeah.
Really meaningful stuff. But I remember in that movie, there's something where Jackson, her brother's name is Jackson.
Yeah.
He falls out of a window into a watermelon farm and he gets up and there's a watermelon on his head. Oh, so funny.
You want to know who else falls out of a window?
Who?
Bran from Game of Thrones.
Hey,
Not for the same reasons. Not for the same reasons.
hey, speaking of watermelons, remember that Amazing Race clip where she tries to launch the watermelon out of the catapult? She's like right in the kisser, and then it flies back into her face.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
Clip that in there somewhere.
Speaking of watermelons,
No.
Honestly, one of the best fruits. What we need to do on here one time, have you seen, I can't remember what they're called. They have TikTok and they do a podcast also, but they do drafts where they'll do like random objects. It'll be like a fruit draft.
gas station snacks. Number one, Zin.
That no. But anyway, yes, we could do a draft of gas station snacks.
No, because Fritos, the twisty ones,
The barbecue ones.
are the best.
That's your number one pick? Not
No.
coffee or...
Well,
My number one pick, is it just from Maverick
is it just snacks, or are we taking drinks too?
or can we get food
drinks,
also?
everything. That's why
Well-
mine are
well-
Zin. 6 milligram peppermint.
Yeah, but
Zin.
look, you're addicted, and so is like 90% of America. So obviously that's going to win. But what about the other 10%?
No, but like, let's be honest. With Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
Yeah, I think that might. I think a Mountain Dew. Well,
Well, what about let's hit them with the combo, because you're not walking out with just a snack and no drink.
yeah, but
Unless
that's why drink.
some
goes
people
number
we
one.
know do that.
Yeah, but that's why drink goes number one.
I guess. So then
Drink
I'm-
is number one,
then
but
I'm
you
getting-
can't do like it. Can't be like
I won't lie to you. I
Diet.
sometimes just get a piece of jerky,
just one stick.
maybe two, if I'm feeling lucky or I'm rich or whatever.
Okay.
when you got that bag of quarters. Anything's possible.
My hands smell awful because the quarters, dude.
Okay, I was like, all right, bro.
Where did that come from?
Well, it's just like I was paying with quarters the other day, and I'm walking out, and I just like sniff my hand or whatever. I
You
don't
just
know.
sniff
why.
your hand for fun?
Sometimes when I want to feel something.
Maybe that's what that lady at Taco Bell was staring at you so weird. She smells your hand, bro, when you gave her the cash.
Oh,
Gave
dude,
her
the,
the cash?
the lady at Taco Bell was not too happy with me today.
Taco Bell goes so hard.
Not today.
But she was
Top
looking
3
at
worst Taco Bell experiences of my life.
Maybe it's because of that.
The food was gross, or just
They just messed up my order completely,
Mm.
and they made me a chicken chalupa when I wanted a beef. I
you
know
want to know something? I went and got late night sushi last night.
makes sense.
Banger.
I don't like sushi,
Yeah, you're weird like that though.
but this is not a food podcast.
No, it's not. But you know, sometimes podcasts just talk about random stuff.
And I
late
like
night
that.
Sushi,
Wait, maybe next time we do a food from a movie that you want to eat. I've seen posts like that,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I think
I'm
this
in.
would be a.
I'm in.
Ratatouille from Ratatouille.
Yeah, fair. Even though like it
Not,
doesn't.
you don't
look
want to eat
that
Remy
good.
though.
No, I don't want to eat a sewer rat.
Hey,
He's
bro,
clean, bro. He washes his hands.
Come on, bro. If
He
he
wa-
gave,
hey.
if he gave you the chance,
One time we were at the movies. One time we were at the movies and we all go into the bathroom, and I go pee. Seth goes pee. I go wash my hands. Seth just walks. Seth just goes to walk right out after taking his pee, and I said, "Seth, wash your hands. You're better than that." And the guy who was in there peeing with us, random dude, laughed so hard.
Well,
And Seth turned around and washed his hands.
I didn't touch my-
So to all the men out here listening, wash your hands after you pee.
if you touch it, you don't touch your thing.
Yeah,
Why do-
but pee splashes,
how
bro.
are you not touching the thing?
because, dude, my thing free willy.
It
bro.
just plops out of your zipper.
Oh yeah.
No, you're not that big.
Look. Also, can I say something about the megaplex urinal situation?
Yes.
The urinals are like back to back. So if it's crowded, you're on one, and then someone is literally
Right
butt to
behind
butt.
you.
You're
Then
gonna
you're
take
going.
his butt.
If you were to both finish peeing and take a step back at the same time, you're cheek to cheek.
You're going hole to hole at that moment. And one time it was like post movie and everyone's peeing. This dude ripping it, and I'm like, that is
There's
going
always
right
a little
into.
bit of thunder with the
I'm
lightning.
like, that was going right into someone else's butt. What does he say? It's a fart transplant.
suction cup.
And I'm like, dude,
Also, how would you know if I'm that big? Why are you cock watching?
I'm not cock watching. I just know that you're not big enough to just have your dong. Also,
you hit him with the say when.
yeah. Say when.
No way.
It can't be that big. Let me start over. No, but also your dong doesn't go up, so it's not gonna flop out.
I'm hard 24/7.
Seth,
I'm hard as a rock right now
why?
because we're having a good time.
Sometimes I'm just concerned.
It's like Jackson loves to. It's the whole like, how does your brain work? Nobody knows. But
That just-
no, yeah,
that just
I
reminded me
will-
of the.
you should wash your hands. It's really important. I wash my hands all the time.
If you
Except
don't,
for
you get
when he
that
pees.
ringworm on your dong tip. You seen that guy on TikTok?
Yeah. My dong tip is doing just fine.
Hey, we had a scare. Well, you had a scare.
I had a scare, but now I don't have a care. You know, look, at the end of the day,
You gotta keep caring, though, or
yeah,
else you're gonna have
STDs
more
are just part of
scaring.
life, bro.
Keep caring, or there will be more scaring.
Yeah, facts.
All right, I appreciate that.
You know what I like? When Landon talks more, and he's chatty
Put
today.
it on the tagline, bruh. It's because we saw two good movies today.
Episode 13.
We have talked about 2 movies this
Keep
entire
caring,
time.
or you'll start scaring. No, we talked Desert Island or whatever.
Oh, true.
Also, I know we're gonna eventually talk about this because we just saw episode 3. Seth's seen it 3 times, which is crazy.
Yeah, I gotta go see it tomorrow.
But we've been posting our rankings of Star Wars, and I feel like if you have The Last Jedi anywhere in like your top 5, people are losing their minds. I just want to say one thing. The Last Jedi gave us 3 of the best scenes in all of Star Wars.
Yep.
I'm not saying 3 of the best. 3 I'm not saying the best,
3
but I'm
best,
saying
but
like
3
of
of
the
the
best.
best.
And
Yeah.
if you cannot see that and agree with that, you have
Well, it's like all these people who don't agree with it. I know when they saw The Last Jedi in theaters for the first time, when
And
the
saw
throne
those
room,
scenes,
when
the
the throne
throne-
room
yeah.
sequence happened, I know they were cheering.
Yeah, and when they fly through the ship and
Yeah.
it blows up, it's
That
literally
is
one of
literally-
the best
And then-
shots ever created.
and then the final scene when Luke is out there and he's
Yeah.
using his like
yeah,
projection to
I mean,
fight.
it's an impeccable movie. I said it to Landon, and I'll say it again, and I truly don't think anyone can deny this. Hate the script, hate whatever. On a cinematic level,
It's
the
beautiful.
best Star Wars.
Well, and here's the thing. Look, everybody hated the prequels when they came out.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna hate the sequels because they're the last thing that we've gotten, essentially. Also, we've talked about this before. The Star Wars fan base
Toxic.
sucks. Like, genuinely, just a bunch of people who suck. Like, just enjoy what we're getting, and yeah, they may not be as good as the originals, but like, you just have to enjoy what's coming out, right? Because if you keep hating, they're gonna stop making. And do we want that to happen? If you're a real Star Wars fan, no.
Well, also, I mean, it comes down to the, like, we were talking about this. We posted a clip where I literally started the clip of being like, Star Wars Episode 8 is my favorite Star Wars movie. I'm one of those people who believes no matter what your favorite Star Wars movie is, like, even for you guys, Episode 3, I wasn't on the train. I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a sec, but I would never be like, and I probably have as a joke, but I think Star Wars fans, like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But I think Star Wars fans should love what they love, because guess what? You see those movies at different ages. You see those movies at different times. They mean different things to you. Like, for me, I went and saw Episode 3 3 times this weekend. And last week, Jackson said it, I had that movie rated really low because I watched it at an age where I didn't like it. I didn't connect with it. I didn't really get it. It may have just been what was in my head at the time. I don't know. I was so young. Watching them again, they're really solid flicks, man. The third act of that movie is really good. In fact, watching it today, I hadn't cried when I watched it the first 2 times in theaters. I cried watching it today.
What part?
The final with Obi-Wan and
Anakin?
Anakin.
Bro, because I hate when people are like, Hayden Christensen's such a bad actor. He did so bad as Anakin. Bro, when he is yelling at Obi-Wan, that is some of the most, like, gut-wrenching scenes I've ever seen. Like, he sounds just so sad when he's yelling.
Well, the I hate you really hit me today.
Yes, bro.
Because I've been thinking about that a lot lately in a couple of my friendships. And
Seth called me last night. Seth called me last night and goes, dude, when you posted the comment on the TikTok that said, Seth just says some crazy things and can never stand 10 toes, he's like, I really thought that our friendship had ended at that moment.
because I was high as a kite. I didn't know what was going on. I see a comment on TikTok. I call my sibling and I go, I think I really messed up one of my relationships. Can you help me out? And they're like, Seth, chill out. It's like 11:30.
What did he say? He said, Seth, where are you?
Yeah, Seth, where are you? What's going on? Because I was just like out of it.
And Seth's response was, in my room?
Yeah, I was like in my room. I'm just here.
Just hanging out.
But no, yeah. I mean, but episode 3 is awesome. Like, and also the film's got some really great cinematography. The score's great. The lighting in that movie is particularly what I took from the third viewing. The lighting is really well done. Especially when it comes to the lighting on Anakin and Palpatine. Really good. It's a really good movie.
Also,
sorry,
go ahead.
There's a few parts of it that I really do not like that why I don't give it a 5-star. There's too many times when I know it's like CGI was new, but there were too many times like with the stormtroopers when they very blatantly looked like a video game and it took me out. But that's like the only reason I wouldn't give it a 5 is those moments and a couple of the times the green screen. And again, it was new technology at the time, but for me, I'm like, oh, watching it as I watch it now, I can't give it a 5 because it took me out. But I mean, I'd put the movie top 4 in my Star Wars. I'd put it at 4.
I just genuinely still have such a hard time understanding. And unless your rating is like purely like filmmaking wise, it's 4th place. But if we're just talking like pure Star Wars lore, like storyline, all of that stuff, like it is the best Star Wars. Also, that movie is so heartbreaking.
It is.
And it's not even like, yeah, I get that Padme dies, spoiler. That's not even the heartbreaking part, bro. Like, when Obi-Wan is saying to Anakin, "You were my brother, I loved you," it's like the most like just gut-wrenching. I cry every single time at that point.
No, it's really good. I think for me,
so that's why I'm like, how with the emotion, because you cried.
Yeah, but
with the emotion and like the fighting and Yoda and Palpatine chucking the freaking Senate seats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how, like, I just don't understand how you put
hear me out
4.
on that one. Like, The Last Jedi will always be 1 for me because of the experiences I had watching it, because of the filmmaking, because of, I really like that script. I really like the storytelling. That's always going to be 1. And I think I can defend why that's my number 1 all day.
Fair.
2 and 3, like 2 Empire. And it's just because for me, Empire hits. Like, Empire hits on every level, whether it's Star Wars lore, whether it's the reveal, whether it's the filmmaking, the script, everything about that movie. I don't think anyone would deny that that's one of the top 2 Star Wars movies of all time.
Yeah.
3 for me is A New Hope. Again, that just comes from an enjoyment level. Like, I just enjoy it so much. But again, episode 3 comes in at 4. That might change over time. But for me right now, I'm just like 3 and like it's between 3 and 4, but it's 4 right now just because of the freshness. But that's me, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
And how I feel. But I get what you're saying. Like, I told Lan, I'm going to go through and do every piece of Star Wars in order.
Does that mean you're going to watch like the TV shows and everything?
Yes.
Bro, okay, let me tell you something about these TV shows. The cartoons are the best ones.
Super excited for Rebels and Clone Wars.
Andor is brilliant. Also, I need to watch the new season of that. But Clone Wars... Here's the issue with Clone Wars is it's very much like a lot of animes out there where there are a lot of like filler episodes that don't progress the story. But they're really fun to watch. So you can like turn them on when you're editing or something and like watch the filler ones. But I have a list of all of the like important episodes to watch.
Well, I looked that up.
Okay.
So I'm going to just do those. Like,
yeah.
I'm just basically going to go through everything that's canon.
Well, because here's the thing, bro. You watch that, and then how it ties into actually what's going on in between the second movie and up until the end of the third movie.
What is it, season 7?
Season 7?
Is like...
Yeah. Oh, dude. It's like... It's peak. And then Rebels is the craziest.
I've heard a lot of people say Rebels is the best Star Wars there is.
Like, bro, oh my gosh. Rebels is beautiful. I remember when Rebels came out, it starts off and it's literally them just like rebels. Like, you don't really know anything about what's going on if they're a Jedi or anything. We watched like the first 2 episodes and we were like, oh man, this kind of sucks. And then a year or 2 later, we started it over. I think you started it. We started them separately, I think. But oh my gosh.
Dude, I remember a while ago, because there's a part in Rebels where they're talking about, like, I can't even remember what they are, like the portals to the other dimensions.
Oh, dude.
And they were talking about how they were going to use those to erase 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
And to make it like, oh, these happen in a different, like, timeline.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in. I just because it means more Star Wars, but I was like, I'm in.
That's crazy.
Eventually, I guess.
Yeah, you'll get to that
I'm
point.
excited I'm excited to watch through it all because I am really back in on it. I think there is something really special about Star Wars in the theater is just amazing. Any Star Wars in theater is amazing. The experience of it, I'm a really big fan. But we are not here to talk all Star Wars.
Oh, wait, I do want to say one
Please
thing.
do. Sorry.
If you're going to any re-release of a movie in the theater and you have this movie memorized, do not recite it word for word. There are other people in the freaking theater trying to enjoy this. We just had a kid in front of us in Star Wars that was literally every single line.
Every single line, but not even like to himself.
It was
like
loud.
Out loud. And
How long did you guys wait before you shushed him?
probably 30 minutes.
At first I was like, all right, he'll probably stop. Maybe he's just excited. Like, it should stop. It didn't.
It didn't.
Until we hit him with the double
We literally, not planned, same time. We both were like, shh. And he goes, he talked a little bit through the rest of the movie, but nothing crazy.
See, that would be me at the Anakin Obi-Wan monologue before the fight.
You're not saying it out loud for everyone to hear.
But I'm mouthing it to myself.
Yeah.
One time when I was in high school, me and my friend Tanner, shout out Tanner, we watched that movie like 3 times in a row just so that we could memorize that dialogue.
Oh, yeah. I have one thing to say. If you come for my rankings on Instagram and say that you'd rather be kicked in the nuts than hear my rankings, you will never be invited on this podcast. And you will never catch me in the street, okay? Because I'll kick you in your freaking nuts. And then I'll tell you my freaking Star Wars opinions again. God forbid a man has a hobby.
Or an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all I got to say. Okay, let's. That was good.
That was a lot of
Thunderbolts.
fun.
Super excited to talk about it next week. We are going to California. We're going to see Sinners in 70mm IMAX. We'll also talk about that.
Hopefully we get the little film strip.
They're all out.
Are they?
Yeah.
Kill me now, please.
Well, no, we're all good. But real quick, movie recommendation: Land and Go.
Oh crap.
It can be anything. Doesn't have to be something you just watched.
Anything. I'm trying to think of what I just watched. I just watched Pretty Woman. It's a great movie.
It's a great
Did I mention
movie.
this last time?
No.
I can't remember. It's a great movie. Watch that. And then obviously Pride and Prejudice.
Banger. Jax.
I'm actually going to. I've been less watching movies over the last week. I'm going to recommend Fruitvale Station
Great movie.
because I'm on a Coogler kick.
I just rewatched all of his movies.
He's a brilliant filmmaker, and Fruitvale Station's a really good movie. Hard watch, but it's fun. It's a good time.
Good. It's a good
Not really
first
good
film.
time.
I mean, it is a good time. Like, there are moments in that movie where I'm just, like, having fun with his character, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just seeing him progress in his life. And, like, when he's racing his daughter, like, just, like those moments are fun.
Yeah.
But the ending of that movie is sad. You might cry and be very upset.
Yes. My recommendation is Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. It just moved into my top 4. Steve Carell, Keira Knightley. A great film that is highly underrated. People do not like that movie. I don't get it. That is the podcast because I got to pee and my disc is almost full on my Mac, so I need to make sure we end this. Lando Pete Letterboxd. Jax Pete Letterboxd. Saurus 19 Letterboxd. This has been episode 13. We're ending on a happy note, which is great. We've
Yeah, it's
never
rare.
done this. Jack's a little bitch. Peace.